When you can solve somebody's problem, when you can understand somebody's pain point and you can come in and give them a solution, that is where you find true success. You're making the same bad money habits and expecting something different. When you are moving in desperation, you're not moving as someone who knows and believes that they are destined for greatness. Why would you want to reinvent the wheel when you have a blueprint and a roadmap to where you want to go? Why would you make life hard for yourself? Listen, we are here to have a soft life. Hi lovelies, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about how to glow up financially. I've just finished binge watching The Bling Empire and I love watching reality, especially like wealthy people reality TV. I love seeing how the other people live and the rich live, you know, their lifestyles, their mindsets. And I don't know about you, but I want a life of ease, okay? I want a stress-free life. I want to be able to provide for myself and for my family without having to work 3 or 4 times as hard. And for that to happen, I need to be making great money, okay? Not good money, great money. And I know people from the Bling Empire, most of the people from the Bling Empire or shows like that, they were born into money, okay? They have old money, so they already have a step up on the ladder, but it doesn't mean that it's impossible for everyday people like ourselves, okay, to have a life of ease and to create that financial freedom. 2023, we are leaving behind that struggle life mentality. We are leaving behind the scarcity mindset. We are leaving behind living paycheck to paycheck, being stuck, being unhappy, because we don't have the financial freedom that we need to live the lives that we deserve. So I want to talk about the things that I'm going to be doing, the practical things that I'm going to be doing, and my habits and mindsets for me to step into my rich woman era. If you're new, hello, my name is Lorraine and I'm your self-care soul sister. If it's your first time here and you haven't already done so, subscribe to the channel, girl, and join our soft living space. Now, unlike the people from the Bling Empire, okay, I was not born into money. I was actually born in Africa. I'm originally from Zimbabwe, and you know, I grew up seeing a lot of people suffering, seeing a lot of people without. Don't get me wrong, okay, there's quite a few wealthy people in Africa and Zimbabwe, but it's kind of like a disparity. You're either really rich or you're either really poor, okay? There isn't really like a lot of like in between them. So I grew up seeing people suffering. That when I came here into the UK, I think that really resonated in how I saw money and in my relationship with money. Like, I remember when I was in my teens, when I was a teenager, I was really frugal, borderline cheap. That I think a lot of people had like pay-as-you-go phones, but I never even used to top up my phones, you guys. Like, my friends used to get so frustrated with me because I never could call them. Like, I only had like a texting kind of plan, and that's because I did not want to spend money. I used to think 2 times, 3 times, 4 times before buying anything. And I actually used to buy things and wear them and return them, okay? I would have the receipts in the back of my tops or my dresses or whatever, go on a night out and return the clothes, because I just did not want to waste money. I just did not want to spend my money. Like, I just had this mentality of like, if I spent money, then I'm going to be left without. And it's interesting because when I actually came to the UK, like, we had a really comfortable life. Like, my parents, they provided a really good life for me. Like, even for my first degree, for example, like, I never actually had to pay pay for my degree because my parents actually sacrificed and, you know, paid for my university fees. So we lived a really comfortable life, but I was just so frugal. Like, I used to save everything. Like, now that I look back, I understand that that was deep rooted from how I grew up. Like, I grew up seeing like really poor people and people who went without, that I was always so scared of, you know, being poor. I was always so scared of being broke. So I just used to hold on to the little money that I had. And it's not even that I had a lot of money, okay? I was a teenager. I was in my early 20s, child, okay, working at McDonald's or doing bar work, restaurants and all that kind of stuff. So it's not like I was, you know, making a lot of money. I was a minimum wage, but the money that I did have, I just would not spend it. And that kind of mentality and way of living actually carried through with me into like my mid 20s, okay? So even when I did actually finish university and I got like my job, like it was always at the back of my mind that I shouldn't be spending. I just thought that I was really responsible, you know, because I was actually saving. I saved up to buy my house, and I bought my house by myself, and I was so proud, and I'm living my best life. I then went to the other extreme, spending everything and overspending. Like literally money would come, money would go, and I wouldn't even know like what I spent on it. Like if I wanted something, I would just buy it. Like I wouldn't even think twice about something. I used to spend a lot of time, okay, on clothes websites. Even if I wasn't going anywhere, even if I didn't want something, I would buy it. Oh, it's on sale, I'm gonna need it one day, okay? If I don't buy it, then, you know, it will go out of stock and I'll miss out. Like all this kind of FOMO buying, okay? And don't get me started on my worst designer purchases, okay? Buying trendy designer bags, which I look at them and I be side-eyeing them like, why did I even buy you? Now I can't even sell you because nobody wants you because this was a trendy piece, okay? Literally living paycheck to paycheck. I use those credit cards and that overdraft to buy things that I had no business buying, okay? Which is still a scarcity mindset, okay? If I don't spend my money now, okay, then, you know, it's gonna go and I won't have enough money to spend. It was still from a place of lack. It was still from a place of being scared to go without. It took me being off of social media for over a year, you know, doing a lot of introspection because of all the things that I was going through, blah, 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 okay? For me to realize that I had bad money habits. Like I just didn't realize how bad my habits were. Like I knew that I wasn't budgeting anymore as good as I was. Like I knew that, you know, I didn't have any more money in my savings, for example. I knew that. I knew it was that bad, but I didn't know where it was rooted from. And a lot of people who are in dire financial situations or who aren't in a good financial situations, you have bad habits. You might not realize that you've got bad habits, okay? Maybe because, you know, you've got a steady job and, you know, you pay your bills on time and all that kind of stuff. If you're not in a good financial situation that you want to be in, you need to look at why you have your money habits. You know, look at your parents. How did they spend money? What did they teach you? What did you see when you were growing up? What kind of core beliefs did you create about money when you were growing up? And how does it affect your spending or lack of spending or saving, lack of saving, etc., etc. So that's the first thing that I had to do to remove that lack mindset. Okay, so the next thing that I'm doing to step into my rich woman era is not acting out of desperation. This is when I would do things because I just needed to survive, okay? I just need to pay my bills, okay? I would think of ideas or like side hustles, okay? Just so I can generate some income to remove myself from a difficult financial situation. Now, I know it's easier said than done. Like if you are in like a really desperate situation and you literally don't know like like, you know, maybe what your next meal is going to be, like how you're going to pay your rent, how you're going to pay your bills, like especially with the cost of living at the moment. Like a lot of people are making decisions based on desperation because they need to make money, they need to improve their situations. But what I noticed is that when I started certain ventures or side hustles based purely on I just need to make money now, I just need to make money so I can pay for this, so I can pay off this credit card and, you know, pay for my mortgage or whatever it is that I need to do or I'm failing to do, it never works out, okay? Because I never actually went into it having thought it through. I didn't think, okay, how does this actually work? Am I actually good at this, okay? Is this something that is worthwhile? Even if it is, if you see that everybody is starting a YouTube channel, for example, like it doesn't mean that you too must start a YouTube channel. Like when I see this as a side hustle tip for people, when people say, start that channel, not everybody is meant to be a content creator, okay? It doesn't mean, number one, you're going to be good at it, you're going to enjoy it, and you're going to be successful from that thing. So whatever it is that you want to start exploring, I think the most important thing is what value you're going to be giving to people. Instead of going into something thinking, what can I get from something, okay? Doing something from a selfish reason, okay? Just purely based on like making money, it's not going to be successful. You need to think, okay, what value am I going to provide people, okay? And for you to know what value you can provide to people, you need to also know what your purpose is. You need to know what your calling is, okay? What is your why? And sometimes it is your why, it is your purpose, it's in your calling that is going to give you that direction so you can provide value and then make money and then generate some income. Like a lot of people say this, but it just took a long time for it to click and for me to understand it. When you can solve somebody's problem, when you can understand somebody's pain point, okay, and you can come in and give them a solution, that is where you find true success. So instead of just saying, oh, I want to start a fashion channel because, you know, I like styling and I like fashion, okay, do you know what value that you're going to be bringing to the table? How are you actually going to be helping people when it comes to fashion, and not just thinking about the money that you're going to get when you upload that video? If you want to sell some kind of digital product like a course or program, okay, instead of just thinking this could be another multiple stream of income, okay, again, what value are you going to be giving? Like, what would somebody gain from them parting their money, hard-earned money, to buying that digital product, buying that course? What are they going to gain from it? Like when you start thinking about actually providing value and solutions to people's pain problems, this is where you become successful. Like once it clicked for me that it's not about me, okay, I shouldn't be doing something just so I become rich, you know, just so I become successful. If I truly want to become successful, I need to start thinking about other people. And this is where the abundance mindset comes in, because part of being abundant is practicing giving. And I actually mentioned this in a previous video, that when it comes to giving, it's not just about giving tangible things, it's also about the kind of value that you are going to be giving, okay? So it's not just, okay, let me get rich so I can live a good life, so I can, you know, buy a Chanel or, you know, live in this big house. What actual transactional value is happening from you getting that dream life? What are you giving back to other people? But in order for me to even get to that point of thinking about giving value and giving back so I can become successful, I had to stop thinking desperately and making desperate acts, because desperation comes from a place of lack. When you are moving in desperation, you're not moving as someone who knows and believes that they are destined for greatness, that they're destined for success, that life that they want for themselves is destined for them, okay? Because you're just thinking about surviving. You need to stop glorifying your problems. You need to stop acting from desperation and remove yourself from that lack, which is why it's important to do daily expansion belief, okay? Because this way you remove limiting beliefs and you expand all realms of possibilities of what you can actually do. And at the same time, you are focusing on the things that you do have in your life. Sometimes you actually have to start with what you have, because how are you going to enjoy and be grateful for the things that you do want if you're not appreciating what you have now? So that's why I have been actually focusing on gratitude, focusing on the things that I have, focusing on the things that are going well in my life. And not only does that give you peace because you are having a positive outlook and you're not constantly stressing out about things not going well and you not having money or enough money for the things that you want. This enables me to not only dream bigger, but to believe that bigger is possible for me. When you see somebody and they have this nice house, like, you think, oh, I'm gonna get that, okay? And it's not coming from a place of envy, right, of you don't want them to have that thing, but it's coming from a place of jealousy. Sometimes jealousy is good. Sometimes we need a little bit of jealousy to motivate us, okay, to be like, do you know what? I'm gonna have that. If that person can have that, so can I, okay? If you believe that you can get something, or best believe you're going to be consistent, best believe you're going to be disciplined, best believe you're going to do whatever it is that you need to do to achieve that thing, because your mind has already done the hard work. Your mind has already done the leg work for you. All you need to do is follow through from your belief system, okay? If you think lack, you're going to act lack. But if you think abundance, you're going to act in abundance. The other thing that I realized is that I can survive on far less because I wasn't spending time on social media. I wasn't being influenced to buy things that I maybe didn't want. And this was at a time where I actually should have had less disposable income because I was on maternity. And I'm not sure if maternity is the same everywhere, but here in the UK, if you're on maternity, you get full pay for, I believe it's 2 months, and then half pay for 3 months, I think, after that. And then after that, you just get statutory maternity pay, okay, which is peanuts, okay? I had a whole lot more disposable income left over than I did previously, because by me not spending anything, I was actually able to actually save some money and bring myself out of debt. And this made me realize that you can live on way less than you think, okay? If you reevaluate your lifestyle, and I'm not saying that you should be in that lack mindset of like not spending any money, no. What I'm saying is you can still live a fulfilling life without spending more than you earn. You need to be spending less money than you actually earn for you to actually be able to save money and be on your way to financial freedom. You are not going to get anywhere in life by doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting new results, okay? You are not going to get anywhere by spending way more than you can afford. You're going to remain in that hamster wheel and being constantly confused about like, why am I broke, and why can't I save, and why can't I go on holiday and like do all these things, because you're making the same bad money habits and expecting something different. Okay, so the next thing that I'm doing, that I have been doing, is committing to an idea that I have, okay? The way that I grew up, okay, for you to be successful, there was only one way to success, okay? You go to university, you get a good job, you work hard, and then that's how you become successful. Like, that's literally it. You know, other avenues were not not promoted, like being creative, for example, like sports or maybe like music, acting, any of that, that was always discouraged because it wasn't safe. Okay, the safe careers were the ones that were encouraged, and I think it's to do with like African culture. And I always used to not understand people who didn't follow the traditional route of success and like making money. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with that, because it was with that traditional route that I was able to save up and buy my house, right? But at the same time, it was limiting me, okay? Because I feel like I could only go so far with that route and with that career, and I was limiting myself to other possibilities and other ways of generating income, okay, that I just had to throw in the plunge and commit, okay? And I'm not saying that everyone should just go out there and like be quitting jobs and handing in their resignation. No, what I'm saying is you need to commit to an idea. So if you come up with a business idea, for example, okay, you need to commit to it. You can't be one leg in, one leg out. Sometimes we limit ourselves as people to what we can do and what the possibilities out there. Like our mind sometimes just leads us to like the comfortable route and like what we know has worked for us before, okay, to what's safe, that we don't look at other avenues, we don't look at other roads, because we're scared to fail, number one, and two, we don't know how to do it. We haven't taken the time to learn a new skill, to empower ourselves with knowledge, and to actually commit to something. Because you might start something and it might not go as well, and you might like, you know, see, this is why I just need to stick to what I know. Or you might start something and you might fail, and you're like, see, I told you, self-fulfilling prophecy, this is why I shouldn't have started it in the first place. No, who said it was going to be easy? Who said you was going to start that business and then it was going to be successful in 3 months? Okay, just because you have given yourself that time frame, it doesn't mean that that's how it's going to work. So you have to commit, and that's where the discipline comes and the consistency comes, okay? That even if it might not be the traditional route, even if it might not be going well, you need to review and reflect why it's not working, okay? Why did I fail? What did I do then? What can I do differently, okay? And commit to your own dreams. Like I said before, I don't want to have to work 3 times, 4 times as hard for me to get the life that I want, okay? I want that life of ease and I want that financial freedom, but I want it in a soft way, okay? You need to be open to the opportunities that are available to you, okay? If you watch a video, if you watch this video, for example, and I say multiple streams of income, and you immediately roll your eyes and say, well, it's easy for you to say, or how am I supposed to do that when I'm so busy, or I don't have the time, or I'm not good at anything. Before you even start or even do anything, you've already failed, because you've already convinced yourself, okay, that it's not possible, okay? You have to first convince yourself that it's actually possible for you to create those multiple streams of income. You need to remove those limiting beliefs that are obstructing you from doing what you need to do, okay, to create that wealth for yourself, to create that good life for yourself. Because like I always say, nobody's coming to rescue you. Nobody's going to come and say, do you know what? I can see that you've been struggling. You know, I can see that things are really, really difficult for you. You know, this is £10,000 that you can use to invest in yourself and in your... It's not going to happen. Life does not work that way. You need to invest in yourself. God does not help those that do not help themselves. I was listening to a sermon by T.D. Jakes, who was talking about Christians who are just constantly praying only, right, to say, God, please give me this, God, please give me that, please open this door, you know, all that kind of stuff. But they're not doing anything about it. He was actually giving this analogy of chairs, you know, of someone saying, oh, I want a chair. And God saying, well, I don't do that. I gave you trees, okay? Now you need to use your brain that I gave you to be able to know how to turn that tree into a chair, okay? So that means that if you want to create success for yourself, if you want to create wealth for yourself, okay, you need to use your brain, okay, for you to figure out how to generate wealth and how to generate success, okay? In order for me to actually become this rich woman, okay, that I'm going to be, I need to become her today, okay? I need to act like her. I need to think like her, okay? I'm not just going to wake up one day and I'll just start being rich, okay? I actually need to adopt the mindset, the habits, and the behavior of this rich, successful woman. And the best way that I've been doing that is watching and surrounding myself with people who are already successful, okay? Why would you want to reinvent the wheel when you have a blueprint and a roadmap to where you want to go? Why would you make life hard for yourself? Listen, we are here to have a soft life, okay? I do not want to work hard when I can work smart. So if somebody has lived experience, okay, if somebody is knowledgeable and has the skills, why not utilize that, okay? The people that you expose yourself to or surround yourself with are going to heavily impact your financial mindset and financial habits. If you're surrounded by people with a scarcity mindset when it comes to money, you're always going to be in a tug and war where you're trying to do more and achieve more for yourself, but you're being pulled back into the comfortable state, because even if people are discouraging you from wanting more or doing more, being around people who don't have an abundant point of view, okay, is going to hold you back, because their opinions and their values and their habits are going to rub off on you. So that's why I'm very protective and very intentional about the things that I'm not only exposing myself to, but consuming, and also the length of time that I am exposing myself to that thing, because sometimes we spend so much time watching what other people are doing, you know, watching other people's vlogs and keeping up with other people, than we are actually investing in ourselves. This kind of sounds counterintuitive as a content creator and YouTube, me saying that don't spend too much time watching other content creators. All I'm saying is you need to spend time actually investing in yourself than investing your time in other people, because you're not going to get that time back, okay? The time that you are wasting, that's time you could actually have been doing something to creating and adopting those good, healthy financial habits so you can actually step into your rich woman era. Okay, that's it for today's video. Let me know in the comment section down below if you guys are going to be joining me in this rich woman era and what you're going to be doing to get there. If you come all this way, thank you so much. But be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up. Watch this video here that YouTube is recommending, because I'm sure you're going to enjoy it just as much as you have this one. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, lovelies.